Good afternoon. My name is Rabbi Abba Perelmutter. I am the spiritual leader of Shul by the Shore in Long Beach, California. It's Chabad, and it's good, and it's a wonderful place to hang out. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the situation that we find ourselves in. This is the 11th week of staying home by the stay-at-home order from the United States government. And I know for some of you, this has either been the greatest time, or for some of you, this has been the worst of times. And I want to talk a little bit why some young couples have made these 11 weeks the best of times, and why some of the couples are not able to attain that kind of happiness. Now, I have not done a study, but I would put money on the fact that those young couples, and this is specifically geared to young newlywed couples, chas and kalas, first year, second year of marriage. Maybe you have a little baby, maybe you don't have a little baby, but you're living at home and you are alone. You just got married, you've been together a few months, maybe a year, and now 11 weeks you're together in the house. I would like to bet that if these couples that have made the best time have followed some of my ideas that I'm going to be talking a bit about to you today. I'm going to mention 3 topics, and this is not only for something that applies to when we are stuck at home together, but you can use these 3 ideas even when we are able to go out, and it looks like more and more we're getting to that point where we are able to associate. Use these 3 things to integrate in your marriage, and I believe from 40 years experience of marriage that it's going to help you. Number 1 is something that I believe in, heart and soul, and that's laughing at the absurdity of the situation. Couples that have found that this is the best time, they have 11 weeks of sheer bliss, have been able to laugh at the situation. They've laughed at themselves, they've laughed at each other, they have found the humor in the absurdity of where we find ourselves. Think about it. We got married 2 months ago. We thought we were going to go on a honeymoon. We thought we were going to hang out at your parents' house, my parents' house, and look at us now. 11 weeks we are together, almost 3 months. It is a joke. Hashem has sent us this joke, and we have been able to incorporate that humor into our lives. Whatever the situation is, now she has to make breakfast. Now he has to learn how to cook dinner. Now they're fighting over the remote. Now that all of these little issues, this couple has found a way to laugh and to incorporate humor. To me, this is one of the greatest gifts that you can have in a relationship. If you could laugh at each other and laugh at yourself, not take yourself too seriously, this has helped couple that I'm going to call the Mr. and Mrs. Bliss. The Bliss couple have found the humor in this kind of a situation and have been able to laugh. And this is also, like I've said before, carried over to our life in general, that if you're able to laugh and have a household full of happiness and laughter, how could that not be bliss? So Mr. and Mrs. Bliss, good for you. Number 2, they have respected different perspectives, meaning that both of them have not been able to acclimate to the situation exactly the same way. For the husband, maybe a little bit more difficult. He was a guy who went to shul every day, he went to work every day, he was out. She maybe a little bit easier, or maybe it was exactly the opposite. She was a teacher and she went out every day and he was more the homebody. But they basically were able to respect each other's different perspectives, meaning that the husband understood that he needs to help his wife. She's having a hard time. She looks at him, he's having a hard time, and they appreciate that and they respect it. He doesn't think, hey, why are you so grouchy? Why are you so grumpy? Or she says, why are you so anxious? They respect it. And number 3, which is the most important idea of all, they communicated. Because sometimes young couples have this idea that we hardly know each other. I can't complain to him. I can't complain to her. What am I going to show, that I'm anxious? Or she's going to show I need his support? So young couples feel that they can't open up to each other yet. They're not that comfortable. It's not like me and my wife, 40 years, we know everything about each other, or 30 years, or 20 years, or 10 years, or even 5 years, or even 3 years. This couple has just gotten to know each other. So she may feel, I'm vulnerable, but I don't want to show him that I'm vulnerable. He may feel, look, I need her support, but I'm not ready to get her support because she may feel I'm a weakling, I'm weak guy. Don't feel that way. I bet you Mr. and Mrs. Bliss have been able to communicate with each other in a way that they supported each other through this. And this communication and this respect of differences of perspectives and the bringing in of this idea of humor, these three things, I promise you, Mr. and Mrs. Bliss incorporated these past 11 weeks. Let's go out there, young couples, integrate these ideas into your marriage, even when this finishes and we go into the real world, and you will have a happy life. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Rabbi Abba Perelmutter, Long Beach, California. Take care.